I don't know. It's a family drama. It's the type of stories that I like to tell and that I like to watch. And you know, having Webb navigate the story just made sense. You know, Julianne Moore once said that the audience doesn't come to see you; they come to see themselves. And I think anytime you can try to convey a certain dynamic of conflict that can be relatable, and it's worth it. And I think the asymmetrical aspect of this family dynamic is something that a lot of people can relate to.
Bonnie, my character, is such a woman of great integrity, and she's very straightforward and very still, and I do a lot of comedy, so it was nice to go in a new direction. I think it's really important in general to see as many examples of humans connecting to each other and supporting each other, just sort of keeping up our own quality of life. So wherever we can get it, we should get it, and that's why I'm proud to be in this movie. You know, my own family is about keeping connections strong and active and allowing people to grow and change, supporting them in that.
It's very compelling in that I think it'll strike a lot of conversation after the film about family and how do you raise someone who's so gifted? How do you deal with children? And I think too often in this world, I think we underestimate kids. For me, I've been a huge supporter in like different charity work I've done of like building children up as leaders, and so that was a huge draw for me. I think the idea of a nuclear family, I feel like long gone. That's not what is a traditional family, and should we even aim for something like that? I think in today's world where there's so much diversity, and I am a supporter of gay marriage, and I think non-traditional families, there's nothing better or worse. I feel very, very grateful. And even getting to work with Mckenna Grace, who's like a breakout star, working with her, she's so precocious. And I was like, I feel like it's a 30-year-old woman in this little child's body.
I've wanted to work with Webb since 500 Days of Summer. So Webb. And I think the movie has a real message at the center of it. And my nieces and nephews can go see it, and their parents will like it too. So that means a lot. Anywhere you are loved, you have family.
And you know, I personally, and we see that in this film.
Oh, over and over again. And family shows up for you, and we see that in this movie as well.
Well, I have two nieces, and I had my father's a math educator, and my grandfather was a mathematician, a math professor. So I have a history of math in my family, but I like the way it made me feel. And I think it was an endorsement of non-traditional families and the idea that if you don't find home in the family you're born into, you can find your family in, in a crazy corner of Florida. And I really think that's an important message to reinforce. I like the idea of, normalizing smart girls, who are good at math. And so there's a lot of things to celebrate in the movie, and I liked, it's just a fun movie to make. It was nice to make an uncynical family film that I think people will really react to and connect to, hopefully. He's such an American man, and he's such a masculine guy, and he's a little bit withholding, but he is very much in touch with his sensitive side, and an emotional part of his nature is very accessible to him. Well, you think that Jenny is hilarious, which she is. She was a great partner in the movie, but she's also brilliant. I mean, she was a very, very smart child and really identified, I think, with what the movie was about. And she has a softness and a warmth and a tenderness that I think is really evident in that role. And she's the intellectual guardian of Mary.
Almost 3 years, almost, but it's so exciting because it's finally happening and I can't believe it's actually happening. Everything about it I loved, but I think the best part about it was getting to meet everybody and make all these friends that hopefully I'll have for a really long time. Oh goodness, Octavia, she always invited me to have dance parties, and she always invited me to the movies, and Chris, he's so much more than just Captain America. He's a great guy, and he has a really kind spirit and heart and does a lot of great things. And Jenny, she was hilarious, and sometimes whenever we were working with the other kids, she would do her funny voices to get their attention and get certain reactions out of them, and it was really great to work with all of them. Well, probably because some people think, you know, you have to have money and big house, some pets, 2 moms, and maybe 2 kids or 1 kid, and really that's not family. For you it may not be, but I mean everyone has a different family and everyone's different, and I think that we should all accept each other for even if we have different beliefs.
Well, I thought it was a great example of unconventional families, and we have so many of those in our country today. And I also like the fact that it's about a little girl who happens to be brilliant at math. We have so many young girls across the world who are, I don't know, deterred from math, science, technology, and engineering. And I want to be a part of promoting that and letting them know that it's okay to be smart. For me, family, you're either born into a family or you're part of a family that chose you. I happen to be a part of 2, a family that I love, that I was born into, and the family that chose me, and I feel very lucky. But there are people out there who don't have either. So as they build their families, I hope they realize that it doesn't have to be the storybook, you know, conventional way to make a family.